Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A Detroit hookah shop caught selling weed to a 15-year-old.
Everybody is alarmed. This entire community is alarmed. This entire city is alarmed.
Local 4 cameras roll as the city shut the place down.
And the folks living in that neighborhood have been complaining about the place for months. Thanks for joining us. I'm Damon Fernandez in for Devin Skillian.
I'm Kimberly Gill. The shop is along East 7 Mile between Mound and Conant, not far from a school. Megan Woods is live on this story for us. Megan, good evening.
Good evening, Kimberly. Damon, this story continues to unravel. So it started with just one tip, and from there, police discovered 11,000 grams of marijuana in this hookah shop. And tickets were issued, but because they're not licensed to sell weed, well, the city shut them down. The school nearby, they're thrilled, and city leaders are saying that they hope this sends a message.
So what you saw today was that is not going to be tolerated in the city of Detroit.
After a grandmother caught someone behind the counter here at Detroit Hookah selling marijuana to her grandson, she called police. The shop is just a block away from Pershing High School. The proximity has been a big concern for administration.
We do our best to educate and love on our kids and make sure they get the best of everything when they come through our building. Even at dismissal, now they can come over here and get something that's going to take all of that away from them.
But to hear them get accused of selling marijuana to a 15-year-old is alarming.
Our kids deserve more. It was just so callous for you to just sell this child some dope.
After the tip, police did an inspection, finding not just marijuana, but drinks with THC. So the business was ticketed, but because Detroit Hookah isn't licensed to sell weed, the city is shutting them down.
This sends a very strong message to everyone in the city, and of course the chief wants everyone to know in the community that we're looking out for them.
This comes after City Council passed an ordinance a couple of months ago to limit situations just like this from happening.
Hookah bars and hookah tobacco shops have been seen to have a negative impact in our neighborhoods, and so they are now regulated as a conditional use. And so the community will always now have a say for any tobacco shop to be located within their neighborhoods.
Councilman Benson also says that ordinance limits these hookah and tobacco shops from being so close to schools. But now with this shop being closed, it's up to the courts to decide if they can open back up and if they can open back up in that location. In Detroit, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
A lot of people upset, and rightfully so. Okay, Megan, we appreciate your story tonight. Our other top story, Detroit police are working to piece together what happened after a 17-year-old was found shot to death on the city's east side.
Yeah, that shooting happened this morning on Mack at Balfour, right along Detroit's border with Grosse Pointe Park. Priya Mann is live with the story tonight. Priya, the initial crime scene stretched on for blocks, we understand.
Yeah, that's right, Demond and Kimberly. We're talking 7 blocks of Mack Avenue shut down in both directions around 2 this morning. This is an area with a lot of homes and a lot of businesses, but it wasn't a neighbor or a witness who called police. It was actually a high-tech gunfire detection system that first alerted police downtown about the tragedy unfolding here.
It's sad that we killing each other, and it's our community. It's terrible.
Sherry has lost loved ones to gun violence and says the death of a 17-year-old hits close to home.
I just pray. We pray for the family. We've lost ours, and we pray for the family.
Around 1:30 Friday morning, the shot spotter system alerted police to gunfire. When officers got to the area of Mack Avenue and Balfour, they found the body of a 17-year-old in this car. He had been shot to death.
I just don't think it's worth it to be trying to shoot somebody over something that probably didn't really make a difference anyway.
Tragic. I mean, a young life like that taken in such a short time like that, you know, it's not like it's a car accident. It's a senseless death, really, quite frankly.
The teen's body was discovered along the border of Detroit's far east side in Grosse Pointe Park. DPD had 7 blocks of Mack Avenue shut down for hours Friday morning as they searched for evidence.
Well, I think it's a shame, and this gun violence is crazy around here. I feel bad for the 17-year-old, and I also feel bad for his family.
It's God awful. We're going to pray for him. It's sad. I don't know. It's terrible. We need to do better.
And between all the businesses and homes in this area, there's a lot of surveillance cameras. Police are currently reviewing some of that video. They're also asking anyone with information to give them a call. Reporting live tonight from Detroit's east side, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
It's another tragic shooting. Thanks, Priya. Now, right now, police across Metro Detroit are zeroing in on some local car dealerships after a string of thefts.
Check out this video of one of the break-ins. You can see these guys know where to go and what to do. Rod Maloney live on this story for us tonight. Rod, we're talking about a lot of cars here.
Oh, we are indeed, Kimberly. Now take a look. This is the boarded up window of a car dealership, okay? And you're going to see this around Metro Detroit because this is more than just one dealership. And to go across the street, you can see the garage door on the service entrance boarded up. And the one behind it in the back of the store also boarded up because these thieves are causing trouble, costing big money, and wreckage. The security cameras caught it all. The thieves slam a stolen vehicle into a back garage door, and just like the movie, they're gone in 60 seconds. They find the key fobs, jump in the vehicles they can start, zip out the service bay, and then simply drive through the garage door. After the first vehicle through, the others of similar size escape without damage.
Oh, it makes me very angry.
Owner Bob Maxey with 2 Detroit dealerships lives in disbelief.
2 weeks, we've had 13 vehicles stolen. And this is going on throughout the whole state.
The bigger vehicles like this F-350 truck hit the door and get damaged, which doesn't deter the buyers. The truck found yesterday in the back of a Toledo car lot, broken windshield and other scrapes and bruises obvious.
It looks like it's an adult who's directing juveniles, because if they arrest the juveniles, they can be let out right away.
And they're not picky either. They stole and wrecked this marked Maxey service vehicle. The same group hit Maxey's used car lot yesterday, who smashed a window with a brick, couldn't get to the fobs right away, but eventually do, using a stolen vehicle to push one in front of the other at the gate to make their getaway.
I can't keep making these insurance claims because I won't be able to get insurance. And if I don't have insurance, how do I stay in business?
Detroit police say they think they're close to suspects in this and other similar thefts across the city.
I've been in this city, Detroit, too long. I'm not getting out of business. I'll figure out a way to stop them.
Well, they found this vehicle, both front tires flat, got it back. In the interim, one of the Bronco customers who waited 8 months to get his Bronco because of the chip shortage, it was stolen from inside the bay here. Now they have to go back and spend $15,000 to fix the damage on that. Back to you.
Incredible. And Bob Maxey vowing to stay in Detroit despite this happening. All right, Rod, we appreciate your story tonight.
Well, Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny has died in prison. The Russian prison service says he died after collapsing and losing consciousness. Yesterday, he was seen talking and joking on video link of his last court appearance. Navalny is Russia's most famous opposition leader and was once poisoned with a nerve agent in 2020. He was one of the very few to speak out against President Vladimir Putin.
2 juveniles have now been charged in a shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Taking a live look at Kansas City's Union Station. Things are slowly getting back to normal after police say 2 people opened fire, leaving 1 woman dead and 22 people injured. Jay Gray is in Kansas City for us tonight. Jay.
Kimberly, good evening. And look, the 2 suspects are being held in the juvenile detention center just behind us here as investigators continue to focus on ballistics to determine if another weapon and perhaps other suspects may have been involved in the shooting.
2 days after a deadly mass shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade, 2 juveniles now face gun-related and resisting arrest charges. The suspects' names have not been released due to their age. They continue to be held in a juvenile detention center. Kansas City police say they anticipate filing more charges against the pair and haven't ruled out the possibility of other suspects as the investigation continues.
We want to make sure that anyone that was responsible for yesterday is brought to justice.
Bridget Barton and her family say they were standing next to the teenage shooters at the celebration as the first shots were fired.
We're right there with the first 2 shooters.
Who were you with?
I was with my husband, my daughter, and her friend.
They rushed to get out of the way, and when it was over, her daughter says she found one of the bullets lodged in her backpack.
My bag saved my life.
Others who were at the parade now have the chance to pick up some of the things they left behind in the panic and chaos of trying to escape the gunfire.
Our heart goes out to those that can't come here and pick up what they lost that day.
Amber Sanford's family still struggling to work through the horror of that day.
My son last night and the night before woke me up tapping on my back, wanted me to wake up because he just wanted to hold my hand. He's never done that. So it's a lot of healing that we have to go through.
A healing process survivors say is easier to work through with others who were there.
Now, overnight, a GoFundMe page set up by the family of 43-year-old Lisa Lopez Galvan, killed in the shooting, received 2 donations of $50,000 from someone identified as Taylor Swift. Of course, the pop star is dating Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. In Kansas City, Jay Gray, Local 4.
A judge is ordering former President Donald Trump and his companies to pay nearly $355 million in his fraud case. Mr. Trump is also banned from serving as an officer or director of any New York corporation or other legal entity in the state for 3 years. His sons, Eric and Donald Trump Jr., are barred for 2 years. We're told Trump plans to appeal the decision. Meantime, the former president will be in Metro Detroit tomorrow night. He's holding a rally in Waterford at 7 p.m. You can register to go on his campaign website. Well, now to the weather as we take a live look outside at Metro Airport.
Kind of a gray day today, but we'll take it. Let's get over to Kim Adams. Kim, what's the weekend looking like?
Well, it depends on which part, because the first half will be very cold, the second half sunnier and warmer. So we'll start with what's going on right now on Exact Track 40 radar. South of I-94, we have just a few flurries, nothing that is affecting the roads tonight, but there are some flurries out there, and it's definitely a wintry scene as we have cloudy skies, the heavier snow down to our south. In fact, you go just a couple hours to the south, just across the Ohio border, you get into a winter weather advisory. It's snowing like crazy right now in Columbus down to Cincinnati and over into Indianapolis, but this all stays south to us. We're just getting clipped by it with just a couple of flurries. There's also some lake effect snow if you're headed over to Grand Rapids or up north. Otherwise, around here, it's 30 in Mount Clemens, upper 20s in both Pontiac and Howell, 29 in Ann Arbor. It's about 9 degrees colder than it was at this same time yesterday, and we're in for the coldest day of the week tomorrow as our high only reaches 27. But as we take a look at the temperature trend, it's a nice trend. It goes up and up all the way to 51. We'll have more on that coming up in just a few minutes.